Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the new ranked season rewards that came out. Normally when I do these shoe reviews for the ranked seasons, I just do whatever two cards are the World Series cards, and this time around for the World Series, it is the 2009 MVP, 99 overall Albert Pujols. Of course, we're going to do a true review on Albert Pujols. However, at pennant race this time around, you can get a 99 overall Ron Guidry, or you can get a 98 overall Hanley Ramirez. And I think both those cards need proper true reviews because that's kind of a hard decision depending on what your team is, especially for newer players. I know a lot of guys just got the game when they had that sale in the PlayStation Store. So I think it's important that I go over those two cards, especially for the newer players. So we're going to give all three of those cards in-depth true reviews. If you guys are curious, for pennant race, you have to be 500 or above in ranked seasons rating. For World Series, to be 900 or above. Before we get into the true reviews, though, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know whenever I'm uploading more videos. Comment down below what you guys think about these ranked seasons rewards, as well as don't forget to share this video with any of your friends or in any communities you're in that play MLB The Show. The only way to help grow this community, and I think the best way, is to obviously share the video with others. Now that we've got all of the semantics out of the way, let's get into it. Ron Guidry. The man that many referred to as Gator is this card, which is the 1978 Cy Young winner in the American League, Ron Guidry. He's a starting pitcher for the New York Yankees. It's a 99 overall card. He's left-handed throwing, left-handed batting. He has a 4-pitch repertoire that consists of a slider, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, and curveball. His slider is going to go anywhere from 86 to 88 miles an hour. His 4-seam fastball is going to hit 99. And then he has a 2-seam fastball that's going to give you some sinker-ish type action, but it's not quite a sinker. And that's going to be 95 miles an hour. And his curveball is 79. So he has a pretty decent pitch speed difference. However, it's not amazing. I do think this Guidry could be very good looking at his attributes. But before we get into the attributes, as we always do with these cards, let's look and see what year he had in 1978 to win the Cy Young. He had a 25-3 record. He had an ERA of 1.74, which led the major leagues. He had 9 shutouts, an ERA plus of 208, also led the American League. He had a fielding independent pitching, or FIP, of 2.19. He had a WHIP of 0.946. He led the American League in hits per 9 at 6.1. He had 248 strikeouts and a WAR of 9.6. So he had a ridiculous year this year, 25-3. I understand he played on a good Yankees team, but that record is ridiculous. Also, for a starting pitcher to have a WAR of 9.6, you're talking about like prime Clayton Kershaw numbers. The years Justin Verlander was ridiculous. Like, this season that he put together was amazing. Like, this is one of the best pitching seasons in the history of baseball, if you ask me personally. Looking it up, I was surprised that he had a season that was this good, because I know that he was a great pitcher for his career, but I didn't realize he had one of these years that were just absolutely ridiculous. And it kind of matches what his attributes are as a card. He has 119 stamina, and then he has 104 hits per 9, 106 K per 9, 80 base on balls per 9, 91 home run per 9, 109 pitching clutch, 85 control, 86 velocity, 99 break. The biggest thing letting this card down is he doesn't have a great pitch repertoire. However, he does have good attributes. Both of his 9s, as in the hits per 9 and Ks per 9 being 104 plus the good stamina, is actually really, really good. And he has a good pitching clutch at 109. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are pressure cooker, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, control artist, grounded, cheesy, sinker baller, knee buckler. So he doesn't have a sinker, but they consider the 2-seam fastball in this game a sinking fastball. Therefore, that's going to affect his 2-seam fastball instead of a sinker per se. The knee buckler is very important, especially because he has a slider as his primary pitch. Honestly, I think this card could be a surprise card. I don't think he'll be in my starting rotation. However, he could be a card if you need a lefty and you're a newer player. He could be a good card to pick up based on the attributes and the kind of different delivery that he does have. I think he's going to be a relatively good card if you can mix his 4 pitches well. The biggest downside, like I said, is his pitch repertoire. He doesn't have a sinker, he doesn't have a cutter, and he doesn't have a changeup, which will hurt him. You're going to have to really work a lot of left to right with this card compared to up and down, which is a little bit different way to pitch. I think it might make him a little bit easier to hit in the video game, but he does have the attributes to be a good pitcher. I'm going to give this card, for this point in the game, and the fact that he's only the 500 rating reward, I'm going to give him 4 Chewies. I think that he could be a starting pitcher in a lot of guys' rotation for a little bit, especially if you're a newer player. So I'm going to go with the 4 Chewies here. I think he's a suitable card. I'll put him in the rotation every once in a while here or there whenever I'm streaming. But 4 Chewies I think is a very solid card, and you guys should look into picking him up if you need a pitcher in your starting rotation. Hanley Ramirez. The other options that's new in this 500 rating pennant race to get is the 98 overall Signature Series Hanley Ramirez. His primary position is shortstop. He's right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He has secondary positions of first base, third base, and left field. So it looks like for a Signature Series card, they're going to give you all 4 of the positions he's played in his career. He has diamond hitting and gold defense. And for Hanley Ramirez's career, he batted .289 with an on-base percentage of .360, a slugging of .486, an OPS of .847, an OPS plus of .124. He's hit 271 home runs, 917 RBIs. He has 281 stolen bases. He has 1,834 hits and a WAR of 37.9. Within his career, his accolades are Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, and he won the batting title in 2009. Do I think Hanley Ramirez will be a Hall of Famer? I personally don't think so. I think if he would have played shortstop his entire career, he would have had a shot because he's going to hit probably 300 home runs because he's still not retired. He's only 35 years old, so he's really not that old yet. He can definitely sit around in the American League, I think, and maybe DH somewhere. We'll see if he keeps playing and how long he plays for. But the fact that he's away from shortstop now, I don't think that his numbers will get him in the Hall of Fame. But I do think he's in the Hall of very, very good, especially in his prime years. And that attributes kind of show that he has 108 contact versus righty, 112 contact versus lefty, 93 power versus righty, 94 power versus lefty, 92 vision, 100 discipline, 103 clutch. In the field, he has 72 fielding, 79 arm strength, 71 arm accuracy, 78 reaction, with 91 speed, 92 stealing, 99 base running aggressiveness. So it looks like they're giving him more of the young Hanley Ramirez and not so much the older Hanley Ramirez, especially with the 91 speed, because he was a speed demon when he was younger. He was stealing 20-plus bases for like 4 or 5 straight seasons, and he had pretty good pop. Like I said, for his primary being shortstop, this is an okay card. Honestly, the best bet might actually be to use him in left field if you need a left fielder. He has the speed to play. He doesn't have the great arm strength, but 91 speed with 78 reactions definitely going to flag down some fly balls out in left field. And I know a lot of people aren't thinking, like, this is a left fielder card. But I actually think that might be his best position, especially with the other options you can have in the infield that are for free cards. And there's just so many options at shortstop that are better than this card, in my personal opinion, especially the Fernando Tatis Jr. that just came out for the August Player of the Month. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, walker, speedster, thief, pressure cooker, unbreakable. So he does have the hitting machine, bomber, walker, which I always say are the big 3 hitting statistics, as well as 20/20 vision. So it's going to be a pretty good card when it comes to quirks. But honestly, I just don't know for a shortstop how great of a card this is. If I had to pick between him or Guidry, I'd pick Guidry just because I think it's a better card and it's going to have longer use, in my opinion, for this point in the game. But if you are a newer player, you need a shortstop or a left fielder or somebody on the corners, Hanley Ramirez isn't bad. I know a lot of people love the Hanley Ramirez swing. He has a super glitchy swing. And because of his glitchy swing and the attributes that he does have, he'll probably generate a little bit more pop than the typical guy that only has 93 plus power. So I'm going to give this Hanley Ramirez 3.5 Chewies. I do think that if he didn't have a glitchy swing, he'd be more at 3 Chewies. But we're going to go with 3.5 Chewies based on the swing, the speed, and his good hitting attributes. I just think there's so many better options at his primary at shortstop, as well as first baseman and third baseman. So if you need a left fielder and you want to have Hanley Ramirez in your lineup, or making a Miami Marlins, Florida Marlins theme team, by all means go for this Hanley Ramirez. Albert Pujols. The 2009 MVP in the National League was Albert Pujols, and that's what this card is based off. He's 99 overall, first baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's right-handed batting, right-handed throwing. His secondary position is third base. In real life, he did not play any third base this season. It is a blessing that SDS gave us the third base secondary because he didn't play any third base that year. He has diamond hitting, gold defense, and this card looks like it has some of the best hitting attributes in the game. Especially, I mean, they're just good. You can just look at them, just a quick glance that they're very good. Albert Pujols is definitely a future Hall of Famer, and in 2009, he had one of his best seasons. I think around this time, maybe a little bit before, they started calling him the Machine because he was pretty much automatic at the plate. He had a batting average of 327 and on-base percentage was 443, which led the National League. A 658 slugging, which led the entirety of baseball. An OPS of 1.101, which also led the entirety of baseball. An OPS plus of 189 led the MLB as well. The total bases of 374 led the National League. He had 47 home runs, led the National League. He had 135 RBIs and a WAR of 9.7. On top of winning the MVP in 2009, he was elected to be in the All-Star game as well as won the Silver Slugger. This was one of his better years. You could argue that his 2008 year was better, where he also won the MVP. He won MVPs back-to-back seasons. He probably would have won more MVPs when he was younger, to be honest, if it wasn't for another guy. I don't know if you heard about him. His name's Barry Bonds. It's kind of nasty. I mean, Pujols played the beginning of his year the same time Barry Bonds did. Otherwise, Pujols would probably have a few more pieces of hardware when it comes to MVPs. But looking at these attributes for this card, a 111 contact versus righty, 118 contact versus lefty, 112 power versus righty, 118 power versus lefty, 108 vision, 125 discipline, 125 clutch. And then for the fielding, is 85 fielding, 70 arm strength, 77 arm accuracy, 75 reaction with 56 speed, 52 stealing, and 47 base running aggressiveness. Honestly, at first base, this might be the best right-handed hitting first baseman in the entire game. I don't know if there's any arguing there. At third base, he would definitely be one of the best power bats at third base that we've gotten so far. I think this Pujols, if you get the World Series, you still have the option of picking the previous 4 cards. I think this Pujols is better than the Chris Sale. I said last time for the World Series reward, still pick Chris Sale if you don't have him, because Chris Sale is a dominant pitcher, and you just don't find too many dominant lefties that are starters like that. But I do think this Pujols is worth picking up over him. He has really good attributes, has a very good swing, and he's actually not that slow at 56 speed, so I'd recommend picking him up if you make it into the World Series, which is 900 rating or above. Let's look at his quirks real quick. Hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, walker, pressure cooker, and unbreakable. Pretty much the only thing that's holding this Albert Pujols back, in my personal opinion, is the World Series reward. And as you've seen the World Series rewards for the other 2 guys that just became World Series rewards, they are costing upwards of 275,000 stubs, more in the mid 300 range. So it was a very expensive card. Do I think Pujols is worth it at this point in time with all the first basemen in the game? No, I don't. And because of that price tag and the fact you can get some freebies at first base that are relatively close to Pujols, they're not right-handed, they're left-handed batters, but close enough to Pujols and attributes that I'm going to give this Pujols 4.5 Chewies because of what it costs to get him. You either have to be a very good player at the game and be 900 and above rating, or you're going to have to pay those 400,000 stubs, maybe low 300,000 stubs. So he's coming with a hefty price tag. I would go other options at first base in my personal opinion, but if you do get the World Series, I think Albert Pujols is a must pick. Therefore, he's going to get the 4.5 Chewie rating, which is a very good rating. If I was just basing it on the card itself, he's obviously a 5 Chewie rated player. You can just look at the attributes and you know that. But I think because of how hard it is to get him, we're going to stick him at 4.5 Chewies, and that's just how it's going to be. That's going to wrap up the true review of the Ron Guidry, Hanley Ramirez, and Albert Pujols. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and share this video with any of your friends. Also, guys, I appreciate all the support. I really do. I hope you're enjoying the videos. You guys have a great day and be safe.